Hey everyone, we are here again. We had a request to do a video in regards to parenting expectations. So where we would like to start, Jen and Alex? When we talk about parents' expectations, parents' fantasies, what is it that we're talking about?
You're muted,
Alex,
Alex.
you're muted.
Of course, right? So when we talk about parental expectation, I think that every parent, when they have a child, they have dreams, they have, I want, when I envision my daughter, when I envision my son, when I envision my kid, I have all of these dreams, expectations, desires, wishes for them. And as the kid is growing up, they are constantly listening. Well, you can do whatever you want. And when I was a kid, I did this, but you can do, they unconsciously or subconsciously project a lot of their desires onto the child. And the child then sometimes downloads and installs that as instead of a desire, a need. I need to do this. And so I think when we talk about a child growing up in a house where a parent has expressed their desires, their wishes, and their expectations, a lot of times we adopt that as I have to, and we live under the guise of perfectionism or having to fulfill the dream vicariously of my parents through me. And if I don't, I will be a failure. I will be seen as a disappointment. And so a lot of times we see kids adopt this as their motto to make their parents happy. And in all reality, they're not living their life. They're not living, they're not able to step into their true authentic self or career because of what was placed on them based on their parents.
Beautiful. Jen, what will you add?
I mean, Alex really summed it up. I think something that we see a lot is academic expectations of, parental expectations, but also it's almost like it crosses it, like it blurs a line into, I don't know if these are my parents' expectations anymore or my expectations. Like, I have to do this class and I have to get straight A's because I have to be able to get into this college and I have to be able to do this. And when you start asking them why, they're not sure why. They're not sure why they need to be able to do this or why they need to get into this college or why they need to choose this career path. And so, yeah, that's just along with what Alex said, that's a little bit of what we're seeing too. And so it's kind of taking a little bit of breaking down, like where is this actually coming from? And this is a value that you hold true, or is it something else? And how do we separate that?
Beautiful. So we tend to forget that our children, they're not mini us. They're not an imitation of us. They have their own identity, and being teenagers, at that age, they're trying to figure out, who am I? Who are you? How we fit in this relationship? What can I do to please you while I'm still trying to figure out, who am I? What do I like? Who are my peers? Where do I belong? So when we're talking about these expectations the parents have, it takes a toll on the teen, right? We tend to personalize it. I am not good enough. I am not pleasing. Is this black and white mentality that teenagers go through, and then trying to figure out things. So what will be something that we can tell the parents? One, which is it's normal. We tend to see it in therapy all the time. We also saw that with our parents.
Yep.
And then if, as they have children, and all of us do, we're like, oh, this is what's happening again. So it's very normal. So can we normalize it and humanize it? And then what can we tell them about their children and the struggles that they're going through as children, even though they're teens? They take it as, am I good enough in this relationship?
I think something interesting that I noticed too is when you have parents who are high achieving, and whatever that means for them, that sets the expectation for the child that they also need to meet or exceed that level of high achievement. And so, that's something that I think something that's helpful is really helping kids learn how to really just to prepare them for being adults and preparing them for having a sense of autonomy, because it's not that just because, all three of us are pretty high achieving. We own businesses, we worked really hard for them, but we did that for reasons that we wanted. And, and I don't know that it's necessarily an expectation we have of our children to do the same thing, So kind of letting them know that, no, this is what I wanted, but you get to create what you want. What are your interests? Why do you want to do some of these things? And then helping them kind of learn that sense of autonomy so that they can, and independence, so that they can feel okay making decisions that go not really against the family, but in their perception might be a little bit different than what they think their family expects. Does that make sense? Like, that
Yeah,
was a lot.
because you're talking about a different template, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback on what you said, I think one of the things I really appreciated from my grandmother is you are you. You are you. You are Alex. And Alex needs to do what's right for Alex. And I remember when she said that, I was like, huh? No, but I'm a Castro and I have to fulfill the Castro expectation. She was like, no, you are Alex. Yeah, you're part of the Castros, but you are not have to live in the shadow of the Castros. You do what you need to do. And first of all, the very first thing I did that broke the Latino Mexican norm is I left my house, the state, to go to another school, left my family completely. And Liliana, in a Mexican family, the firstborn male does not leave the house until he's married. And I was like, deuces, I'm out. I left at 18. At 18, I packed my bags and I left to seminary in Dallas. And you do you, and you have to live your life the way you need to live it, and left to another state. And I moved back home, but I never stayed there. I was like, this is not my home anymore. And for me to be able to stand up in that autonomy and that truth and that reality really asserted my my independence. And so one of the things I tell parents is, verbalize and communicate my wishes, my desires, my dreams are mine.
Yeah.
And there's something I wish for you. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow through or do it. Just because I'm a teacher doesn't mean you have to be a teacher. Just because I'm a lawyer doesn't mean you have to be a lawyer. You need to do what you want to do. And whatever it is, support them. Be their cheerleader. Yeah.
Or because I'm a janitor, you have to be a janitor, right? Exactly. This is what I love about Cristela Alonso, anyone who's familiar with that comedian. She said, my mom used to go clean houses. And when we were on the bus and I was looking at houses, I would be thinking, I want to live in that house. And my mom will say, one day you get to clean that house. So it was different fantasies that we had, right? When she said that, I started laughing and I'm like, there's something here. So today we're talking about, we all have dreams for our children. We work hard. We use the word, we sacrifice a lot. But the reality is that we have hopes, we have dreams. And a lot of the times we don't make them explicit, as Alex was talking about, in regards to, this is my dream, this is my journey, you get to choose yours. And whatever you decide to do, I will support you. You can always come back home and recharge, but you have to build yours.
Yes. And then also parents, kind of check if you are setting expectations that are high for your child, what is that about? Is that because you feel you have your own unfinished business, or maybe you wish you had done something different and you want that for your child? But are you wanting it for them? Are you wanting it for you? Like where's that coming from a little bit? And that might help find some clarity on how to support your child and what they need to do to be autonomous.
And remember what it was like to be a teenager. All of us who passed that, we want to forget all those pressures that we had, because we had so many hats that we had to hold, right? Like all the teachers that we had to answer to, our peers, if we wanted to belong to, our parents. Like it was just too many people telling us what to do, what to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
And also
carries a lot.
acknowledging, yeah, and
Yeah.
acknowledging that it's different. It is different. When I went to school, it was very much not if you go to college, it was when you go to college, when you go to college. And it was kind of the era of it doesn't really matter what you get a degree and you just need to get a good degree in something, pick something, anything, doesn't matter, but you won't get a job in any way, shape, or form unless you have a degree.
Yeah.
And that is not, I don't know if it was true then, but it's not true now, you
No.
know, the opposite. And it's harder to get into college than it was when I went to college. So they're being asked to do even more. And the pressures for that are, you know, sometimes they're really unrealistic. And if it's something that their heart's not into, that they don't want to do, it's more, more of a sense of insecurity because they don't know why they're doing it. They're not driven. They don't have that passion. They've been told they're going to be a doctor. They don't really know why, but that's just what the template is. So,
And
you
with
know,
that template comes depression, anxiety,
right.
burnout, resentment. Like
They don't
there's a
want to
lot of
disappoint
things.
anybody. They
Mhm.
don't want to disappoint anybody. They don't want to let anybody down. The path has kind of been carved for them. So yeah, just being aware of that as parents and kind of knowing who is this really for?
Mhm.
So the invitation today is parents having dreams and hopes for your children. That is completely natural, right? It's so normal. We all do it. But can we separate those dreams and hopes, kind of like advice? Just because you give advice doesn't mean that you have to take it.
Right.
So can we separate that of what is yours and become aware of those projections, those expectations that we're putting in our children, because they have their own journey, their own experiences, their own discovery.
Yeah.
Will we add anything else before we close?
I think the other thing also I want to add is that be mindful as well and do your own work about your projecting because of your lack of fulfillment.
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't do it, I want you to live, I want to live vicariously through you, and be very careful on how that can hurt, be harmful rather than support and lift up. Yeah.
Mhm.
And work around that. Yeah.
So never ending work as human.
Yes.
So thank you for being here, the two of you, and for our listeners, please, if you need help with that topic, just reach out to us. I will make sure that we have our emails there and let us know what are a mini video that we can do in order to help out. Until next time, we'll see you.